Oh, what's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. I'm going to say this right off the top. This has just been a crazy morning full of technical difficulties. So I appreciate you guys hanging with us just a little bit here as we get everything kind of configured and figured out here. I've been just kind of running and trying to get everything set up. So additionally, guys, you noticed a little bit of an audio issue that I had on Thursday with my microphone. We ordered everything. It just did not get here in time. So unfortunately, running through my AirPods here. So I apologize if the audio quality is not up to our standards. We're going to try to do our best here and get that. I'm sure that as soon as I'm off this live stream, that the soundboard will be like waiting on my front desk. So yeah, that's what's going to happen here. So super excited to be with you guys. We are going to run through as many questions as we possibly can. I have got my rankings here up in front of me. We've got some news that we have to kind of talk about here right off the top here. So first off, Austin Eckler is expected to play. He's going to be suiting up in this game. He is right now sitting at RB13 in my rankings, so he is someone that you absolutely can start. I have Raheem Mostert one spot above him, though, and that is the thing here. With Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon out for this matchup. He is inactive. We have yet to really hear what exactly happened here with Trey Sermon. He wasn't on the injury reports. We don't know why exactly he isn't suiting up, so we'll get some more information on that, I'm sure, as the day progresses. But Trey Sermon not going to play in this matchup. Raheem Mostert up against the Detroit Lions defense. You start Raheem Mostert. I've got him at RB12 on the week, and then Austin Eckler at 13. Additionally, we got news that Zach Moss is inactive. Now, you weren't necessarily looking to play Zach Moss in this matchup. However, this does give a slight boost to Devin Singletary, but I am emphasizing slight there, all right? This is not a guy that you really want to run out there and go plug into your starting lineups now. Devin Singletary ends up at RB31 for me in my rankings. So someone that you can look at if you are in a pinch, but not necessarily someone that you necessarily have to go start. All right, let's get into this here. I'm going to start taking your questions, and we are just going to get right to it. I've got up at the top Hooper or Jonnu Smith in a full PPR looking for a safer floor after strong Thursday numbers. For me, that's Jonnu Smith. I've been higher on Jonnu Smith literally all offseason than I think pretty much everyone else. You obviously see the jersey right behind me here. I've got Jonnu Smith at tight end 9 on the week. I've got Austin Hooper at tight end 13. The potential is there for Hooper to have a very, very solid game, but he's not someone that I am wanting to 100% just necessarily rely on. The opportunity is there, like I mentioned, but if you are starting him, you're kind of hoping that he ends up with the majority of the targets. There's the possibility that we do get someone like excuse me, working on just kind of getting this configured here. My video producer's yelling at me. All right, there we go. That we get, Harrison Bryant, David Njoku. We get one of those guys in here that ends up with a little bit taking away some of that target opportunity there for Austin Hooper. So Hooper is at 13. The potential is there in a game that could turn into a shootout, but I'm going to go with Jonnu Smith. I feel a lot more confident in him as we move forward. Standard, I'm rolling with Tyson Williams over Mike Davis. This is from Jeff Humboldt. Rolling with Tyson Williams over Mike Davis. I'm already down huge because I faced Gronk and Cooper. I think Tyson has a much higher ceiling. Thoughts? I absolutely do believe that in this matchup, he has a higher ceiling. Now, I think he has a lower floor just because we don't know what to expect from this guy. We don't know what is going to be the output here for Tyson Williams. It's a fantastic matchup up against the Las Vegas Raiders. I mentioned on our Friday Start Sit podcast with Dan Harris that I had Tyson Williams at 30 in my running back rankings. And that was most likely going to change. That was most likely going to rise as the week progressed. He is now at RB24 in my rankings, and then I have Mike Davis at RB18. So I still think that you should be going with Mike Davis. However, if you want to have that swing for the fences play, I really don't see a massive game here coming from Mike Davis. I think he's going to have a safe floor. Tyson Williams, low floor, but tremendous ceiling. That's why they're a little bit adjusted in my rankings. I will go with Tyson Williams there. All right. Sean Ortega, would you trade Keenan Allen and David Montgomery to get Antonio Gibson, Michael Pittman Jr., and Latavius Murray? So Keenan Allen and David Montgomery to get Antonio Gibson, Michael Pittman Jr., and Latavius Murray. It depends because you're going to have to drop one of those, another one of your players, right, to be able to fit Latavius Murray in there. Murray, let's talk about the Ravens backfield super quick. Not necessarily a backfield that I'm wanting to attack after Tyson Williams. Williams is the guy who's been in this scheme. He understands it. You've got Murray coming in. Le'Veon Bell probably going to be signed to the active roster. Devontae Freeman on the practice squad as well. I really don't know what to expect from this backfield, and I feel like it is kind of a better version of the New York Jets backfield, right? Like we've got the New York Jets where it's just completely crazy. We don't know who's going to be the main option there, and it's kind of gross. But Tyson Williams is the guy that it's a much better offense, obviously. So Tyson Williams, I think, is going to have every opportunity to be the guy in this backfield. He's the guy that I want to attack. After that, probably not looking at Latavius Murray, Le'Veon Bell as anything more than like bench stashes. So for me, you're making the jump from Antonio Gibson to David, or from David Montgomery to Antonio Gibson. That's a solid leap. But after that, it's just kind of washes out. So I would personally keep Keenan Allen and David Montgomery at this point. Full PPR, T. Higgins or Darrell Henderson in the flex. You also have Robert Woods already starting at wide receiver for the Rams. This is big T90. For me, I'm going to go with T. Higgins here, especially with that full PPR. Now, I like Darrell Henderson this week as a low-end running back too, but T. Higgins I have at wide receiver 20. In a full PPR, I definitely think that you should go that way. I was half PPR, Devontae Parker or Nyheim Hines from Brandon Fernandez. Devontae Parker or Nyheim Hines. I really do not want to play either one of these guys. Devontae Parker, I think, is just going to be out there just running routes. I really don't think that he's going to see a ton of targets in this one, so I will go with Nyheim Hines here, but these guys are both low-end flex options. Half PPR, Mike Davis or Tyler Lockett. Close. If you need the boom bust potential, if you need that boom potential, I will go with Tyler Lockett. If you need that safe floor, I will go with Mike Davis. Tyler Lockett, obviously a boom bust wide receiver. Xavier Rhodes being out for this matchup certainly helps, but I still think that just based on who he is and what we have seen from him recently, we know that he's just kind of he brings that potential, but he also brings an extremely low floor. So if you need the safe floor, go with Davis. If you were playing from behind because you faced Rob Gronkowski, Amari Cooper, whatever, then go with Lockett. Caden, half point PPR, half PPR. Pick two of Chase Edmonds, Jerry Jeudy, Damian Harris. For me, I'm going to go with Damian Harris, and I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy. Chase Edmonds should be involved as a receiver in this one, but not to the point where I am feeling super, super confident starting him. I will go with Jerry Jeudy and Damian Harris. Full PPR, CEH or T. Higgins as my flex from Hussein. I will go with T. Higgins in that spot. I've got CEH just a little bit further down. I don't know what the workload's going to be like. It's a tough matchup for him. Full PPR from Chris. Full PPR, Cooper Kupp, Darrell Henderson, or Brandon Ayuk at the flex. Get Cooper Kupp into your starting lineup. I have him right now at wide receiver 11 on the week. Robert Woods at wide receiver 10. The Chicago Bears have Jalen Johnson and Kindle Vildor as their cornerback 1 and cornerback 2. They're not going to be able to slow down this passing attack here from the Los Angeles Rams. Feeling extremely confident about Cooper Kupp this week. Josh Jacobs or Deebo Samuel at the flex. I will go with the upside there with Deebo Samuel. Josh Jacobs has very, very little upside. So in that flex spot, that's what I'm looking for. Deebo Samuel there. Ryan Tannehill or Matthew Stafford. I have Tannehill ranked higher. He is going to be the guy that I will go with. I have Tannehill at 8, Stafford at 10 on the week. Ryan Tannehill has overall QB1 upside this week. So you definitely need to get him into your starting lineup with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones facing off against the Arizona Cardinals secondary that is not exactly fantastic. Right. King Marquez, non-PPR. Pick 2 running backs, Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, Tyson Williams. Let's talk about Saquon Barkley here really quick, and then I'll answer your question. Saquon Barkley. He has moved down my rankings as the week has progressed. Andrew Erickson on our Start Sit episode on Wednesday. He is going to be joining us this entire season on our Start Sit episodes. He's fantastic. You need to go follow him on Twitter at Andrew Erickson _. He pointed out that he's got Saquon Barkley at RB23 on the week. And at that point, I had Saquon at, I think, RB13. So that was a big difference. But as we have moved throughout the week, we've gotten more and more confirmation that Saquon probably not going to see a full workload in here. And he's up against a very, very tough matchup. If it was an easier matchup, then I would probably be more willing to start Saquon Barkley. So this is one of the things where when you drafted Saquon, you maybe thought that he was going to be ready for week 1, maybe not. I have him at RB19 on the week now. I would be starting Mike Davis over him. I'd be starting Chris Carson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, David Montgomery, despite the tough matchup, even Austin Eckler. DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders, Myles Gaskin, those guys are just behind him. So I'm still looking. You can start Saquon Barkley depending on the options that you have on your roster. If, for example, if you drafted later on, you drafted Raheem Mostert, I would be starting Raheem Mostert over Saquon Barkley this week. That's not even a question for me. Right. Full PPR, Myles Gaskin, Mike Davis, or Brandon Cooks. I am going to go with. That's pretty close, actually. I'm going to go with Mike Davis here, especially in a full PPR. I think he can soak up targets out of the backfield. Wayne Gallman apparently out for this game, so I don't think that you're going to see Cordell Patterson really take a ton of work there. So I'm going to go with Mike Davis there. In a standard league, Raheem Mostert or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I will take Raheem Mostert there. Favorite streaming quarterback, someone over Burrow. I mean, technically, Trevor Lawrence fits that streaming quarterback conversation. I have Trevor Lawrence at 12 on the week right now. I actually have Matt Ryan also at 13, one spot above Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert at 14 in my quarterback rankings. This is a very, very difficult matchup for him. With Austin Eckler, probably not at 100%. That dings him just a little bit there. So Trevor Lawrence fits the bill as a streaming quarterback in week 1. Matt Ryan also in consideration for me. And then I have Joe Burrow at 15. Chris, I was wondering who you would start in the flex between Kenny Golladay, Michael Pittman Jr., and Jalen Waddle. I love Michael Pittman Jr. I love Jalen Waddle this week. I am going to go. I do not like Kenny Golladay this week. I'm going to go with Michael Pittman Jr. here. I've got him at 31 on the week. I have Jalen Waddle at 37, and then Kenny Golladay I have all the way down at 46. All right. Here we go. JJ Brock, full PPR, Chase Claypool, Jalen Waddle, or Corey Davis. For me, this is Corey Davis. Guys, I have Corey Davis all the way up at 22 this week. I think that he is going to be heavily targeted in this one. Even though you do have Elijah Moore coming back into this matchup, I don't think that he is going to soak up targets the way that Corey Davis can. So, and Chase Claypool, very, very tough matchup. Even though I've got him at wide receiver 29, I think he's going to be fine. And Jalen Waddle, like I mentioned, a little bit further down, I've got Corey Davis all the way up at 22. You need to start Corey Davis this week. All right, let's get some more recent questions here. Let's go all the way back down to the bottom. All right, Pandito Jr., hey Kyle, help needed. Raheem Mostert or DJ Moore at the flex? Oh man, that's super close. I have DJ Moore right now at wide receiver 18 on the week. He has absolute boom potential in this one. I love DJ Moore this week. But Raheem Mostert, with the news that Trey Sermon is inactive, he's gonna be used a lot. He's gonna see a ton of work on the ground. So I will go there with Raheem Mostert over DJ Moore. If it is a full PPR, that kind of brings it closer. I might go DJ Moore there. But if it's a half PPR or standard, I'm gonna go Mostert. Canadian Crab, full PPR, start one at the flex, Saquon, Henderson, Sutton, or Brandon Cooks. I'm going to go Henderson there, even though I do have Saquon. It depends on what your comfort level is with Saquon Barkley. If I can sit him, I'm going to. So I have Henderson at 23 on the week. I have Saquon Barkley at 19. So if you're comfortable with Saquon and you're comfortable with the range of outcomes, then you start him. He's higher in my rankings. But Henderson, I think, is also going to have a very, very solid game in this one. I'm not opposed to starting him over Saquon Barkley. Sutton is a little bit further down my rankings. I don't think that Denver is going to need him a ton in the second half of this one. And it's a tough matchup for opposing wide receivers. And Brandon Cooks is a fine wide receiver 3. But I would be going with Darrell Henderson there, especially in a full PPR. I think he's going to see some targets out of the backfield. Devin, Segala, half PPR, Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton, or Brandon Cooks. I'll answer that one first. I have Deontay Johnson right now. Let me flip back over to my wide receiver rankings. I have Deontay Johnson at wide receiver 28. I have Brandon Cooks at wide receiver 25. And then I have Cortland Sutton further down the board. I have him at 43. So I'll play Brandon Cooks here. The matchup with Jacksonville is a little bit tougher than it was in previous years. They've made some upgrades to their secondary this offseason, so I'm not expecting crazy things here from Brandon Cooks, but the target volume is going to be there. We know that. Deontay Johnson, a very, very tough matchup against the Buffalo Bills secondary there, so I'll go Brandon Cooks. Apple 30, full PPR, Saquon, Kareem Hunt, or Tyler Boyd in the flex. In a full PPR, I will go Tyler Boyd here. Kareem Hunt, a little bit further down my rankings. Saquon, you can look at him, but I'm looking to sit him if I can. As an analyst, I'm just trying to stay a little bit measured here with the potential range of outcomes on Saquon, so I've still got him at 19. Tyler Boyd in a full PPR, he's going to be a very, very safe option for you this week. I will go with Tyler Boyd there. Callaway or Claypool in a full PPR. Marquez Callaway with Traquan Smith going on short-term IR. Marquez Callaway should see a ton of targets in this one, but he's got to worry about Jair Alexander. So I have Marquez Callaway at 35 on the week, and then I have Claypool at 29. I would start Chase Claypool. Dylan Leland, full PPR, flex Kyle Pitts or Devontae Smith. I'm going to flex Kyle Pitts there, especially in a full PPR. He's going to be involved in this one. Devontae Smith, I just want to see it first. Dan and I were talking about that. Dan Harris on our Friday show of Dan and Kyle in the morning. We're talking about Devontae Smith. It's like, I want to see it first. You definitely can look at starting Devontae Smith. I've got him at wide receiver 38 on the week, so you can look to start Devontae Smith this week. However, I would prefer to look elsewhere. Kyle Pitts is a no-brainer for me. You spent a very, very early pick on Kyle Pitts. You start him there. Jordan Kraft, hey Yates, glad to be back on Sundays. Absolutely, man. Week 1's here. I'm so excited for this. Happy BR in the flex, Juju or Laviska Shenault. For me, this is Laviska Shenault. I am not looking to start Juju Smith-Schuster this week. I have him at wide receiver 49 on the week. Get him out of your starting lineups. Laviska Shenault at wide receiver 36. Tough matchup for the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers. I think that the ball is going to go to Claypool and Johnson first. And then Juju Smith-Schuster's got to find the end zone. He's got to find the end zone to be able to at least finish above a flex, because we know he's not going to be efficient with his targets. He has a very low yards per reception, and I don't think that he's going to be on the field as much as he was last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers leaning on their run game, potentially running a ton of 12 personnel here. So that takes the slot receiver off the field. I'm not expecting great things from Juju Smith-Schuster this week or this year. Mr. I don't even know how to pronounce that last part. For flex PPR, Deebo Samuel, Marquez Callaway, or Chase Edmonds. I'll go with Deebo Samuel there as that upside play against the Detroit Lions secondary. Callum Brown, please help. Full PPR, start 2 flex. Cortland Sutton, Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, Cole Beasley, Melvin Gordon. All right, full PPR. I will go. These guys are all right together. So I will go Marvin Jones at 42 in my wide receiver rankings, Cortland Sutton at 43. We've got Kenny Golladay at 46. I'm not looking to start Golladay if I can avoid it. Cole Beasley, he's further down. I really don't want to start Cole Beasley this week. And then Melvin Gordon, or any week, really. And then Melvin Gordon, he's just he's inside my top 30 running backs, so you could look his way. I just don't want to start Melvin Gordon this week. So I will go with Marvin Jones and Cortland Sutton there. Zachary, hey Kyle, full point PPR, James Conner, Jacoby Myers, or Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers here. I'm not expecting great things from any of these options. So you're just kind of looking in the full point PPR. Who's the guy that's just going to be a safe option for you? Jacoby Myers should see targets in this one, but you've still got him going up against, essentially by himself, up against Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, Noah Igbenogany, the corners for the Miami Dolphins. I'm not expecting great things here from Jacoby Myers, but I do think that he can see 6 targets. He could reel in 4 of them for, 10 yards per reception. That's a fine baseline for a flex play. Emmanuel Sanders, I don't even know what his output's going to be this week. Hurts or Tannehill, super close to my rankings. I think I have Ryan Tannehill 1 spot above Jalen Hurts. I do. I have Ryan Tannehill at 8, Jalen Hurts at 9. Both of these guys come with overall QB1 upside. Hurts with his legs, Tannehill with the receiving duo there. Dan Dubin, Jerry Jeudy, or Devontae Smith? In a half PPR. I will go with Jerry Jeudy here. I have Jeudy a few spots higher than Devontae Smith. I have Jerry Jeudy at 32, and I have Devontae Smith at 38. Ryan Neal, half PPR, Devontae Parker, Javonte Williams, or Rondale Moore? I will go with Javonte Williams there. I've got Parker and Moore as low-end flex plays. Javonte Williams inside my top 30 running backs on the week. David Linskog, Golladay, Pittman Jr., or Juju. For me, this is a super easy answer. That is Michael Pittman Jr. Get him in your starting lineups. Rob the French, Darrell Henderson, or Corey Davis in my flex. I will go with Corey Davis there. I just feel a little bit safer. The matchup with Darrell Henderson, it looks like Eddie Goldman's not going to be playing in this game. So that certainly kind of opens things up for the run game here for the Los Angeles Rams. But Corey Davis, I feel like he's going to just soak up targets here from Zach Wilson. And it's a fine matchup for opposing wide receivers. Johnny, Tobar, Henderson, Montgomery, Jones Jr., Gage, or Beasley can start 2 in a full PPR. I'm going to go here with Henderson and Montgomery. Got Montgomery at RB15 on the week, Henderson at 23. Jones Jr., I'm excited to watch him in this game. I think he can have a good game here, but I'm not looking to start him here in week 1. And then Gage and Beasley are low-end flex plays. Right. Let's keep going down the board here. Ethan Fisher, full PPR, pick 1 of Tyler Boyd, Marvin Jones, Jalen Waddle. In a full PPR, I will go with Jalen Waddle here. I think he has the most upside. Tyler Boyd is a very, very safe option for you. So it's the difference in roster construction and how you're starting your lineups here. If you are out to a big lead and you're looking to just kind of conserve that, Tyler Boyd's a probably safe play that you can plug in there as a wide receiver 3 or flex play. And then Jalen Waddle, though, if you're playing from behind, he absolutely comes with boom potential this week. So Jalen Waddle in consideration there for me. Modern Creations, Albert Wilson, DFS Secret Weapon. Yeah, as a low play, just kind of a dart throw. I think he could be involved here in this game with Devontae Parker on one side, Jalen Waddle in the slot. Maybe we see Albert Wilson and Jalen Waddle kind of rotate through that slot position there. Albert Wilson, a fine DFS play, but I'm not expecting a ton. Ethan writes, "What up, Yates? Full PPR, Judy, Callaway, or Damian Harris? Pick one." In a full PPR, I will go Jerry Judy there. I've got Callaway just a few spots below, and then Damian Harris, I don't think is going to be involved a ton as a receiver, so I will go with Judy there. Tony Amato, Saquon Barkley, Kareem Hunt, Darrell Henderson in a full PPR format. Kareem Hunt's not in consideration here for me. It's again back to the Saquon Barkley and Darrell Henderson. Like if you have another option that you can pivot to over Saquon Barkley that are kind of in the same tier, then I'm perfectly comfortable doing that. So Saquon Barkley and Darrell Henderson from 19 to 23, where I've got them, those are all one tier for me. So if you can pivot to one of those guys, like a Darrell Henderson, absolutely do it. I'm perfectly fine putting Darrell Henderson in my starting lineup over Saquon Barkley this week. Oscar Sosa, hey Yates, full point PPR, flex spot, Juju Smith-Schuster or Brandon Cooks. It's a big difference in my rankings. I talked about it earlier. Brandon Cooks at 25, Juju Smith-Schuster down at 49. So you start Brandon Cooks this week. Shane Austin, hey Kyle, new subscriber here. Thank you so much. And that is a perfect segue for me to tell you guys that if you are not already subscribed to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. Now, hit that like button on this video as well. Helps us out in a big way. We're just blown away by the support from you guys. I mean, our numbers here on the YouTube channel have just been incredible. We're up at 116,000 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible. Blows us away. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Shane, back to your question of full PPR. You need 2 out of 3. Allen Robinson, Tyler Lockett, and CEH. For me, I am going to go here with Allen Robinson, and then I will go with CEH. Tyler Lockett, I've got at 23 on the week. Allen Robinson at 19. And then CEH, I have at RB 19 as well. I'm looking that up here just to confirm that. Actually, CEH has moved up my rankings. So I've got CEH at 16. So CEH and Allen Robinson for me, just leaning into my rankings there. I'm not expecting great things from Allen Robinson, though, this week. Lined up against Jalen Ramsey. 504 Gusto, Corey Davis, or Robbie Anderson in non-PPR. I will go with Corey Davis there. I do like Robbie Anderson this week. It's the revenge game narrative. This is going to be a fun game to watch. But Robbie Anderson at 27, Corey Davis at 22 in my wide receiver rankings. Kroll the Warrior Princess, PPR flex, Michael Pittman Jr., Jamar Chase, or DJ Chark. Michael Pittman Jr. for me pretty easily. I do want to talk about Jamar Chase, though, really quick. I'm excited for Jamar Chase. We're going to be watching this game closely to see what Chase looks like. Zero confidence in starting him this week, though. You cannot roll out Jamar Chase as anything more than a flex play. DJ Chark is kind of in that same range where it's like Chark absolutely could explode in this one, or it could be Laviska Shenault, or it could be Marvin Jones. I just don't know which wide receiver Trevor Lawrence is going to be really locking onto. So Michael Pittman Jr., though, I have zero concerns about. T.Y. Hilton out of this matchup. Paris Campbell still kind of banged up, dealing with an Achilles injury. It's Michael Pittman Jr. He's going to see 6 to 8 targets in this one minimum. And it's a great matchup for opposing wide receivers. So get him in your lineup. Marquez Callaway or Robbie Anderson, full PPR in the flex. I'll go Robbie Anderson there. Let's start flying through these guys. Tyler Florio, Corey Davis, or Deebo Samuel in a half PPR. I will go with Corey Davis there. Ryan G, full PPR, Swift or Thielen in the flex. I will go. That's close. I will go with Thielen. I will go with Adam Thielen there. I think this matchup is fine for opposing wide receivers. And then it's Justin Jefferson, it's Adam Thielen, and that's pretty much it here in this wide receiver core. So I am perfectly comfortable rolling out Adam Thielen over DeAndre Swift this week. Kent Clark, Swift, Henderson, or Tyson Williams. You've got these guys that are in the same tier for me, or right around there. I think Tyson Williams I have as a tier lower, but I've got DeAndre Swift at 20. I have Darrell Henderson at 23. And I have Tyson Williams at 24. So DeAndre Swift, apparently zero concerns about his workload, zero concerns about his conditioning here. So, yeah, I think you can roll DeAndre Swift into your starting lineup over Darrell Henderson. But again, these guys are all kind of in that same tier. I wouldn't object to starting Henderson over DeAndre Swift. But Tyson Williams, I don't have the same level of confidence just yet. I want to see what this backfield looks like and how it plays out. And also what Tyson Williams looks like as a starter in an NFL game. He was the RB3 or RB4 on this depth chart just like a month and a half ago. So I'm not expecting crazy things here from him. I do think he has upside. I just don't have the level of confidence. The next question, Michael Davidson. Do I start Tyson Williams? Sure. Other flex options are Corey Davis or Michael Pittman Jr. I would go Corey Davis in that situation. It gets a little bit closer when you're talking about Tyson Williams or Michael Pittman Jr. I think at that point, I would probably go with Tyson Williams just because of the upside. Michael Pittman Jr., I think, is going to bring a very, very safe floor. With his target volume, Corey Davis, I have zero concerns about this week. I'm starting Corey Davis there. DeAndre Swift or Pittman at the flex. YouTube chat has this thing where if you scroll down too far, it takes you all the way back down to the bottom, and then I lose where that question was. So I don't remember who asked it or what they said. And now I'm trying to find it. Oh, hold on. Nope, I lost it. So sorry. All right, here we go. Zombomb 90. Everett or Ertz? Gerald Everett, obviously the tight end for the Seattle Seahawks. Zach Ertz, the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. In that situation, I'm going to go with Gerald Everett. Zach Ertz, I just don't, like last time that we saw Ertz, it was not pretty. So we just don't know really what to expect here from him. And I just don't have any sort of confidence. So Gerald Everett there, but I've got Everett at like tight end 18 on the week. So I'm, again, not super confident with him. Adric Woodard. Good morning, Kyle. Half PPR flex spot. Marquez Callaway, Darnell Mooney, Myles Gaskin. For me, I'm going to go with Myles Gaskin there. The New England Patriots defense, very tough matchup. So not expecting a ton from Gaskin on the ground, but that's not really where he makes a ton of his money as a fantasy running back, right? It's through the air and what he can do in the receiving game. Myles Gaskin should see 5, 6, maybe even 7 targets in this one. I feel pretty confident about that. So I will go with Gaskin there. Callaway, I want to see it first. Again, tough matchup up against Jair Alexander. And then Darnell Mooney, I think that he is someone that I have excitement for, just not in this matchup. Cody Welling, Lawrence, or Stafford, I will go with Stafford there. McLaurin or Antonio Gibson at the flex. Again, very tough matchup there for the Washington offense up against the Chargers defense. I will go with McLaurin there. Or I'm sorry, in a standard league, I will go with Antonio Gibson. In a half PPR or full, I would go with McLaurin. Omar Ayuk or Shenault, I will go with Ayuk there. Devontae Smith or Pittman, I will go with Pittman. Gesicki or Jonnu, going Jonnu. Danny S, PPR league, Allen Robinson, Corey Davis, or Tyler Boyd. I will go with Allen Robinson there slightly. I mean, if you want, again, it's the same kind of argument with Saquon Barkley, Darrell Henderson. Like, they're in the same tier. I've got Allen Robinson at 19. I talked about Corey Davis at 22. A lot of Corey Davis questions, by the way. I will, like, if you want to put Corey Davis into your starting lineup over Allen Robinson, that's fine. They're all in the same tier for me, and they can all be shuffled around within that tier. So I think that's perfectly fine. I would personally still be going with the talent level of Allen Robinson over Corey Davis. If you want to have the PPR break it and you want just like assuming that Corey Davis is going to soak up targets in this one, then you can go with Corey Davis. Tyler Boyd's a little bit further down my rankings. Ben Brady, full PPR, Mike Davis, Corey Davis, Deontay Johnson for the flex. I will go with, in a full PPR, I will go with Corey Davis there. Victor Ramirez, Morning Gates from Mexico. Thank you so much for watching. PPR, Swift, Henderson, Boyd, or Corey. I will go with full PPR. It's between Swift and Corey Davis for me. I will go with Corey Davis there. I just have a little bit more confidence in Corey Davis over DeAndre Swift this week. Don Baird, need 3 in a PPR. CEH, Jonathan Taylor, Mike Davis, or Najee Harris. Najee Harris is 100% in my starting lineup. Then Jonathan Taylor, 100% in my starting lineup. Then it becomes a question of CEH versus Mike Davis. I'm going to stick true to my rankings here. I have CEH at 16. I have Mike Davis at 18. JLB, hey Kyle, full PPR, Myles Gaskin, Tyson Williams, Devontae Smith, pick 2 of them. In a full PPR, Myles Gaskin for sure, and then I'll go with Tyson Williams, just because of the upside. With Devontae Smith, again, I want to see it happen first before I confidently plug him into my lineup, and Tyson Williams has all the upside in the world. So both of those guys are kind of like Tyson Williams, Devontae Smith. Like, I would love to see it. I would love to wait this out and just see what happens here with both of these guys, but you can't. So Gaskin for sure, Tyson Williams also would be the guy that I would roll with. Andrew Bird, half PPR, Tyson Williams, Darrell Henderson, DeAndre Swift, Robbie Anderson. You need 2, 1 running back and 1 flex. Okay. So for me, I will go here with, you need 2 of them. DeAndre Swift above in my rankings, and then it's a half PPR. I'll go with Robbie Anderson. So one running back would be DeAndre Swift. He's the highest in my rankings. I feel like I know what I'm going to get out of DeAndre Swift, and then Robbie Anderson as that flex play just for the upside here against the New York Jets secondary. I put out a tweet the other day, which again you can follow me on Twitter at Kyle Yates NFL. I put out a tweet the other day. I was like, I feel like we are heading towards the New York Jets secondary, making Sam Darnold look like Patrick Mahomes out here in Week 1. So this is again going to be a fun game to watch. Steven Adams, Baker Mayfield, or Kirk Cousins. I will go with Kirk Cousins there. Barry Flinter, hi Kyle, Corey Davis, or Marvin Jones at the flex. Not even close for me. There's a 20-spot difference. Corey Davis at 22, Marvin Jones at 42. Again, a ton of Corey Davis questions. Dylan Pemberton in a full PPR, Damian Harris or Chase Edmonds. I have the full PPR brings it a little bit closer. I have Damian Harris at 25. Actually, they're back to back. I have Damian Harris. This is in half PPR. So Damian Harris at 25, Chase Edmonds at 26. If you want to break or have the full PPR be the tiebreaker there, and you want to go with Chase Edmonds, assuming that he's going to be heavily involved as a receiver, I'm not going to fight you on that. Again, they're back to back in my rankings, super close. So yeah, I'll go Chase Edmonds there in a full PPR format. J-Pack, half PPR, DeAndre Swift or Myles Gaskin. They're 20 and 22 in my rankings, respectively. I will lean into my rankings here and go with DeAndre Swift. Again, all in the same tier. If you want to start Myles Gaskin, you absolutely can. Johnny Garza, help Yates. Josh Jacobs or DJ Chark at the flex. I really want to sit Josh Jacobs if I can. He's all the way down at RB 27 in my rankings, guys. So I am not confident in starting Josh Jacobs this week. I will go with the upside there of DJ Chark. If you need safety, if you just know that you need the 12 carries for maybe 4 yards per carry, you just have that like safe option there, you can go Josh Jacobs, but the upside of DJ Chark in this one, in this matchup up against Houston, is just through the roof. So, all right. Samuel Smith, full PPR, Chubb, Mixon, and Connor. Pick two to start. That's Chubb and Mixon for me, like by a mile. I have Nick Chubb at, where'd he go? 8, and then I have Joe Mixon at 5. And then James Conner, hold on, I'm still scrolling, RB 33. So I will start Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon there very, very easily. Eric Kuriger, hey Yates, PPR pick 2, Chris Carson, Brandon Ayuk, Tyler Boyd, Jacoby Myers, #TagStrong. Thank you guys so much. I'm just going to take just a quick second there and just thank you so much, Eric, for that hashtag. Many of you have been asking about tags and how he's doing. For those who are unaware, my co-host and one of my best friends, Mike Tagliere, has been in the hospital now for several weeks, battling for his life, quite frankly, with COVID-19. And so we have just been continuously having him in our thoughts and prayers. He is holding steady. I encourage you to follow his wife, Tabby Tags, over on Twitter. She's providing updates here, and those are kind of the updates that we get as well. So we are doing our best to give them, space and privacy and let them share the details that they want to share. So anytime that you guys ask us how Tags is doing, we are going to be pointing you to Tabby's Twitter. So please make sure to go do so. Continue your thoughts, your prayers, good vibes, whatever works for you. Continue that for Tags, #TagStrong. Eric, PPR pick 2, Chris Carson, Brandon Ayuk, Tyler Boyd. For me, it's Carson and Ayuk. Carson, tough matchup here against the Indianapolis Colts, but we know what we're going to get with Chris Carson. Brandon Ayuk, incredible upside with the matchup there. Travis Young, full PPR, Josh Jacobs or Chase Edmonds for an RB2 in the full PPR. I will let that break it. Chase Edmonds. Again, they're 26 and 27 in my running back rankings in half PPR. Full PPR, you give the tiebreaker there to Edmonds, who's more involved as a receiver. Sir Blue, please help again. Superflex, Sam Darnold or Raheem Mostert? That's super close. Superflex, I feel like you have to play the quarterback. I actually like Sam Darnold this week. I have Darnold right now as it's loading. I have Darnold at 17 on the week in my quarterback rankings. So with the tiebreaker there of like that super flex position, you want to be starting quarterbacks there if you absolutely can. Unless you have one of those like top 11 running backs, though, I would be looking to get Raheem Mostert into my starting lineup. If you're deciding with Mostert or a guy like CEH or something like that, I'd be going with Raheem Mostert. So, but in that situation where you are purely just picking between Darnold and Raheem Mostert for your super flex spot, you got to go with the quarterback here. You got to go with the good matchup. Darnold, all he has to do is get the ball into the hands of CMC, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall Jr., Dan Arnold at tight end, and he'll be successful. And in this matchup, he'll be successful. Josh Warren, PPR full PPR, Mike Davis or Cooper Kupp. For me, that is Cooper Kupp. He's inside my top 12 wide receivers on the week. Derek Meyer in a PPR flex, Judy or Gaskin. It's pretty close, actually. I don't have a strong opinion either way on this one. Judy, the concern is that he gets out to a decent start and then the New York Giants just can't put up points on the board. And so at that point, then they just turn to the run game in the second half. That's kind of the concern here that I have with Jerry Judy. But Gaskin, I think he's going to be involved as a receiver heavily in a full PPR format. I do think that you can go with Gaskin over Judy. But again, I really don't have strong opinions on this one either way. I personally would probably play Myles Gaskin. Vape Lord Shizzle, A Shizzle. Full PPR, Brandon Ayuk or Michael Pittman Jr. That's a little bit closer for me. I will go Ayuk there. The concern is, and I had this concern a little bit more when Trey Sermon was active, but the concern here is that San Francisco goes up just big in the first half, in the first quarter, the first drive, and then they just turn to the running game for the remainder of the game and pull what they did against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game a couple of years ago, where Jimmy Garoppolo literally threw the ball 10 times or 7 times. So that's the concern here. But Ayuk, the matchup, you start him. I've got him at 24 on the week. Pittman at 31, I think I said. Yes. Ultra Funky, start 2. Robert Woods, Robbie Anderson, and Brandon Ayuk in a full PPR. For me, that is Robert Woods for sure. I've got him at 11 or 10, excuse me. And then I have Brandon Ayuk at 24, Robbie Anderson at 27. Liana Grande, Sutton or Tyson Williams in a standard flex. I will go Tyson Williams there. I have some concerns about Courtland Sutton here, at least in week 1. The matchup isn't fantastic. I will play the matchup game there and go with Tyson Williams. Morgan, full PPR flex, Raheem Mostert, Tyler Boyd, Michael Pittman Jr. It's Mostert for me. Even though it is a full PPR, and Mostert shouldn't be involved a ton as a receiver, the matchup, you just start Raheem Mostert. Chandler Lockwood, good morning. Half PPR, Josh Jacobs or Tyson Williams. I will play Williams over Jacobs in this matchup. Seems crazy to say, but I'm going to do it. Full PPR, Fant or Tunyon from DPR. Fant or Tunyon, I will go with Tunyon here. Looking to sit Noah Fant if I can. Probably can't. So I will, in this situation though, you can. So I will go with Robert Tunyon there. Kamikaze 339, the worst stash in Dynasty. Darnold, Savon Ahmed, or Trent Sherfield. I'm probably just going to let Trent Sherfield go to the waiver wire there in that situation. QAP, Swift or Pittman at the flex in a full PPR. Super, super close. I think I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift there over Michael Pittman Jr. That is really, really close, though. If you want to start Pittman over DeAndre Swift, not going to fight you on it. Mosaic, Rift. Great to see you, Kyle. I hope you've been enjoying the best weekend of the year. I have. It was fantastic. Put together an IKEA dresser. Got that finished up this morning. Then my son, who we are currently potty training, that has been a whole ordeal. Fellow parents in the YouTube live stream will understand this. He successfully went on the potty. Dad life, dad wins. It's been a fantastic weekend. And then, of course, this little thing called football. Half PPR, pick 2. I'm looking for upside since my opponent had Cooper Thursday, Mike Davis, Tyson Williams, DeAndre Swift, or Kareem Hunt. If you want the upside there, I'm going with Mike Davis and Tyson Williams. Andrew Walker, I have Ridley, Lockett, Mostert, and Cook starting, but my flex options are Judy, Shenault, or Montgomery. I will go with Jerry Judy there in a full PPR. Ethan Stomp, full PPR, RB2 in flex. Pick 2, Saquon, Deontay Johnson, or Darrell Henderson. So pick 2 of them. Again, it's Saquon and Darrell Henderson. A ton of questions about that. I don't have a strong opinion either way. I personally would probably start Darrell Henderson and Deontay Johnson in this situation, though. I just don't have a ton of confidence in Saquon this week. Kyle Crescenzo in a full PPR flex, Myles Gaskin, Chase Claypool, or Darrell Henderson. Full PPR flex. I will play Gaskin in that situation. Eric Masterson, is Elijah Mitchell playable with Sermon inactive? No, he is not. So I will. You're not playing Elijah Mitchell here in that third preseason game that we saw from Elijah Mitchell. He's got a lot of growing left to do, and yeah, he might see some carries in this game, but I'm not expecting a ton. So I will. I will sit Elijah Mitchell unless I absolutely have to. Let's go a little bit further down here. I'm just tweaking some things in my rankings before they close here. All right. Darrell Henderson, Nick Laney asked, Darrell Henderson or Miles Sanders in standard scoring. I will go with Darrell Henderson there. I really don't want to play Miles Sanders this week. Let's go with Charles Hawk, hi Kyle, PPR, choose 3, Mike Davis, Darrell Henderson, Mecole Hardman, Marvin Jones. I will sit Mecole Hardman in this situation. I am not looking to play him unless I absolutely have to, which in this situation, you do not. Rory Keenan, standard, pick 2, Darrell Henderson, Mike Davis, and Robert Woods. For me, that is Robert Woods for sure. And then I will go with Mike Davis there. I've got him higher in my rankings, even though I think that he does have a little bit more value because of his receiving ability. So it's probably pretty close there with Henderson and Mike Davis, but I'll go with Robert Woods and Mike Davis. Jeff Eubank, half PPR, Brandon Ayuk, Laviska Shenault, or Corey Davis? Corey Davis for me. Hi, Kyle. I have a tricky one. Full PPR, super flex. Do you play Zach Wilson or Teddy Bridgewater? I will play Bridgewater in that situation. Just want to see it first with Zach Wilson. It's his first game as a rookie. Unless it is Trevor Lawrence going up against Houston, I'm not looking to start a rookie quarterback this week. God Eater X, hi Yates, Kirk Cousins, or Trevor Lawrence? I will go with Trevor Lawrence there. Kirk Cousins is still a fine streaming option for you, but Trevor Lawrence I've got at QB 12 on the week. Ryan G, full PPR, Swift or Thielen in the flex? I will go with Thielen there in that situation. All right, and then Anthony Foster, full PPR flex, pick 1, Tyson Williams, Robbie Anderson, Chris Carson. In a full PPR, I will go with Robbie Anderson there just because of the upside, and it's the receiver there. I don't know what Tyson Williams' involvement as a receiver is going to be. Chris Carson should be fine, but he's got a tough matchup on the ground. I'll go for the upside there. It's a flex spot, so I will go for the upside there with Robbie Anderson. All right, my knee. Hi, Kyle. Need 2 in PPR. Woods, Cup. That's the end of the discussion. You're going with Woods and Cup there. Buck Zone FTC. Didn't draft a defense. Who should I get? Colts, Chargers, Panthers, Jags. I will go. Oh, man. Chargers obviously up against Washington. It's not a matchup I want to target. Colts up against Seattle. You're definitely not starting them. Panthers up against the Jets. You could look at the Jags up against Houston. I might just go with Jacksonville. That feels gross to say. But I might go with Jacksonville because I'm not expecting a ton here from the Houston Texans offense. Steve Ackerman, PPR, start 2 running backs, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Jonathan Taylor, Antonio Gibson. I don't know how you have that lineup, but congratulations. I will go with Najee Harris, and I will go, what's a full PPR? I'll still go Jonathan Taylor there. I will go with Najee Harris and Jonathan Taylor. That feels ridiculous to say that you have to sit Antonio Gibson and Austin Eckler, but Steve, congratulations. They're all in the same range for me. I think I've got Taylor and Gibson back-to-back in my rankings. All right, let's go with Andrew. Standard, Tyson Williams or Odell Beckham Jr. in the flex. Odell, I have moved down my rankings as the week has progressed. He is now at wide receiver 30. Tyson Williams at running back 24. Odell, I don't know what his full workload is going to be in this one. I still think that you can get away with him as a flex option. They're probably going to need to throw the ball here to keep up with Kansas City. So that's the appeal with Odell Beckham Jr. If you want to go with Tyson Williams in a standard league and let that be the tiebreaker, that's fine. I will probably, in a standard league, I'll probably play Tyson Williams, play the running back there in the flex. Drew311, hello Yates, full PPR need 2. DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, or Laviska Shenault. In a full PPR format, I am going to go with DJ Moore and then Deontay Johnson. I like Shenault this week. I really do like Shenault this week. However, I've got him just a little bit further down rankings than Deontay Johnson. Zach Foster in a full PPR flex just came through NFL Network reporting Jamal Williams will start and will carry the load, downgrade Swift. For me, that's not going to move him down a ton. It might bump him down. I'm going to bump him down. This is the rankings process. You guys get to see it happen in real time. I'm going to play Darrell Henderson over DeAndre Swift now. All right, so I have put Miles Sanders now at RB20, Myles Gaskin at 21, Darrell Henderson at 22, DeAndre Swift at 23 on the week. All right, that was fun. Let's go with Zach Foster, full PPR flex, Marquez Callaway or James White. In that situation, I will play Marquez Callaway. Ridley Truther. I'm assuming Hendo is Henderson, Marquez Callaway, or Marvin Jones. Tyson Williams, pick 2 in a full PPR. I will go with the 2 running backs there, honestly. I will go with Darrell Henderson and Tyson Williams. Michael Koenig, half PPR, Chase Edmonds, or Michael Pittman Jr. I will play Pittman Jr. in that situation. Let me just make sure that I publish my rankings here, guys. As we come up on kickoff, I'm going to go until 12:55, just so that way you guys have a few minutes to set your starting lineups and make sure that those get all set, and that way I have a chance to breathe. All right. Just making sure that looks good. All right, let's publish that. Sorry, guys. This is probably what you're going to find every single week at this time, as I'm just kind of making sure that I publish my rankings. I had a couple of instances last year where I updated my rankings as I was doing the live stream and then forgot to hit publish. That was the worst. All right, Saquon or Damian Harris in a full PPR. Again, same tier for me. Actually, they're a little bit lower, so I'll play Saquon in that situation over Damian Harris, particularly in a full PPR. Carter, Mendez, full PPR, Devontae Smith, or Michael Pittman Jr. I will play Michael Pittman Jr. there. Michael Torrey, half PPR, pick 1. Debo, Chenault, Devontae Smith. I'll play Debo in that situation. Hooper or Higbee. I'll play Higbee. Kareem Hunt or Melvin Gordon at the flex. I'll play Kareem. Actually, I'll play Melvin Gordon there. It's pretty close, though. Pick 1 in a full PPR, Tyson Williams or Laviska Shenault at the flex. In a full PPR, I will go Laviska Shenault there. Start Galladay or Allen Robinson. That is not even close. You start Allen Robinson there. Max, Yates, full PPR, pick 2, Corey Davis, Laviska Shenault, Darrell Henderson, Michael Pittman Jr. You need some upside after Thursday night. I will go with Corey Davis, and I will go with Michael Pittman Jr. Matt Handy, new subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing. 18-team league. Pick 2, full PPR, Devontae Smith, excuse me, Jamar Chase or Jacoby Myers. I will go in that situation. I will go with Devontae Smith, and I'll roll the dice with Jamar Chase. In an 18-team league, you need upside. So Jamar Chase has that with this matchup. You just don't know what you're going to get. Matthew asked something, and then I scrolled down, and it's disappeared. Matthew, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. Claypool or Devontae Smith in a full PPR. I will go with Claypool there. Pittman or Melvin Gordon or Juju, play Pittman. Half PPR, DJ Moore or Robert Woods. I'll play Robert Woods. Half PPR, Brandon Cooks or DeAndre Swift. I'll play Brandon Cooks now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Damian Harris. I will play CEH. Brandon Cooks or Brandon Ayuk. I will play Brandon Ayuk. I think those guys are back-to-back in my rankings, though. Half PPR, Tyson Williams or Chase Edmonds. Voice is going, guys. Tyson Williams. Kane Ash, Standard League, stash. Pick 1. Rashad Penny, McKissick or Pollard. Pollard for the upside. Standard League, Cooks or Chark. I will go with Cooks. A-Rob, Hardman, or Gage. Pick 2. I'll go with A-Rob for sure. Then I'll go with the upside with Hardman. Start 3 in a PPR. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Cortland Sutton, Chase Edmonds. I will go with DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and then I'll go with Chase Edmonds. I've got Cortland Sutton just a little bit further down. The full PPR brings Chase Edmonds up just a little bit. Tevin Coleman or DeAndre Swift. Don't go too crazy here. I will still start DeAndre Swift. Half PPR, Tyson Williams or Laviska Shenault at the flex. I will play Tyson Williams there. It's super close. All right, that's where I'm going to draw the line, guys, and get ready for kickoff. What? We got 4.5 minutes until the 2021 NFL season kicks off at the 1 o'clock slate. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the patience as we dealt with some technical difficulties here this morning. Again, like I mentioned, I'm sure that I'm going to walk down, look out my front door, and the soundboard that I need and the everything like that is going to be sitting there. So I appreciate you guys dealing with some lower audio quality here that does not live up to our standards at Fantasy Pros, but I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you all hanging out with me here for the past hour. Go win some fantasy football matchups this week, guys. We'll talk to you soon.